The database of the MRRS contains a distinct coding structure. These codes are entered in the Genius system and placed in the premium claim transactions of the MRRS during the nightly refresh. Throughout the MRRS system, the user has access to information by way of viewing it on the screen or creating paper reports. In many cases, the user can select a combination of the coding structure to narrow down the information displayed. The screen you are looking at represents the MRRS coding structure. Access to valid codes is always available by placing the mouse arrow on an individual field and double-clicking. To use the MRRS properly, it is imperative that the user become familiar with the various codes, so let's go through them. The first code is labeled Department. Let's double-click it and look at the values. The department code is reserved for Profit Center. AXA has used this code to identify the organization that is responsible for generating the business. These are the different companies around the world. Let's select U1, double-click. The type code identifies the type of contract issued for the risk. The nature code describes the attachment type for the claims that occur for the contract. Now, let's talk about codes 1 to 10. A set of these codes are set up for each department. So let's look at code 1. This code represents the branch office of the department code. You can see there are several branches assigned to the department AXA CS Insurance Company. If we change the department code to AXA Vericheron, and now look at code 1, we can see that there is only one branch set up. Code 2 and 3 go hand in hand and represent the class and subclass. Let's look at code 2. You can see the classes of business that AXA Vericheron is writing. Code 3 displays the type of coverage associated with the class. For example, for general liability, there would normally be premises or products coverage. Code 4 is actually created by an internal table based on the statutory line of business code. The management of AXA examined the annual statement lines of business and identified the category that they wanted the business to lumped into. For example, 010 Fire is assigned to property, and 170 Liability is assigned to casualty. Clicking on code 5 does not come up with any values, which means this code is not used and can be assigned in the future if the company wants another breakout of the business. Codes 6, 7, and 8 represent the area of the world that the risk originated. These codes come from the master record of Genius. You can use the up and down buttons to page through, but you can also use the page up and down buttons on your keyboard. Code 8 and 9 are also available for future use. Now let's talk about the ceding agent field. This is in fact a company code. If the risk is a direct policy, it will represent the agent who produced the risk. If the risk is a reinsurance contract, the code will represent that of the insurance company issuing the underlying contract. We are now at the company search function. This search operates much the same as the risk clearance. You can enter a whole or partial name or names and press enter or click on a blank part of the screen and a list will appear. If the names displayed do not provide enough information for your selection, you can click the address button and the name and full address will appear. Clicking on any line will bring the code back to the original screen. The broker code is assigned for reinsurance contracts and functions the same as the ceding agent field. The risk code allows you to select a single contract. We have used the triangle report option for this video. Let's select some valid codes that make sense. Let's select the HTML option and go to the report.